Good morning, good afternoon.
Good morning, good afternoon.
Wherever anyone is watching from.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm having my coffee late today,
Yes.
but
I'm
that's
having
okay.
my coffee all day.
Exactly. So, how are things? What's new? What's exciting?
I don't know. Do you have anything exciting to tell me about? You said
Always.
you were alluding to something and you wouldn't tell me. So I guess I have to hear with everybody else.
You are hearing with everybody else. So sometimes when new things come out, I just saw this morning, so literally like hot off the presses. There's a
Mm-hmm.
new feature in Instagram, and I'm very interested to see how you feel about it and whether you think it's going to be something that you would use or not use. So, as we know with Instagram stories and reels, you can add all the stickers to it. So, especially in stories, add yours, or we add a link, or any animation, or
Yep.
polls, or asking questions, all that kind of stuff. So, this one is called Reveal. So I don't know if you've seen it yet, but basically the concept is that you have to, so it's faded. So your story is faded in the background, the sticker's over top, and it asks you a question,
Right.
whatever that is. And you have to respond to the question in order to reveal the story. So the concept behind it is, number one, it increases engagement, but it also increases direct messages because their answer then goes into your direct messages on Instagram, and then you would then be able to respond, but they need to be able to answer that question before the story is revealed. What are your thoughts?
I don't know. I mean, I'm twofold. As a marketer, I'm like, cool, it increases engagement. But as a consumer or a viewer, I'm like, don't make me go through one more hurdle, one more step. I'm already tired of all the gates. We talked a lot about the last few days about how sometimes it's just good, when you click on a link and they say, watch this video, and I don't have to do an email. I don't have to submit anything. I just get to watch it and learn in the training. And I like that. And I appreciate people who do it. So, will we try it? Possibly. But again, I'm not a big fan of going through one more hurdle.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt. I don't have the option yet, so I think they're slowly rolling it out.
Yeah.
I did not see it weeks ago. The accounts that I followed were just showing it today and yesterday. So, and I don't have it. I tried to use it this morning because I just literally wanted to test it out because that's what we do. We always want to test out new features.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like, again, like you, I feel like it's one more hurdle. I feel like it's a little bit of a forced engagement, which I don't love. I don't like it when I feel forced, like I'm answering a question just because, and I'm just going to be blunt. That story better be good.
Yeah, and usually it's not. That's the problem. Like, so,
Yeah.
I imagine people like revealing and going, oh, you want more? Go to part two, and then you can't find it. One of those things. So, I mean, it's just frustrating to me.
Or
On
it's a
all of
silly picture and you've kind of answered the question and now you're into their DMs and now I'm getting spammed with messages. I'm concerned about the abuse of this particular feature.
Well,
So I don't know.
I believe that what's happening in the marketplace now is really people are again getting fatigued by all the gates and hurdles they have to go through, and they're looking for easier things. I think that's why podcasts are becoming more popular too. You look at the list of podcasts, you see what they're talking about, you hit play and you listen. You don't have to subscribe if you don't want to. If you want to, you can, but there's not a million gates, and I think we've seen it in our business, and we've adjusted accordingly. So back in the old days, 2 years ago, everyone was doing courses. We do courses. So if you wanted to learn something, you would put your money down, you would do a course, and you were done. Doesn't work that way anymore because people realize they need more. So they need more live, they need more interaction, they need more community. And that's really where we moved the model to, right? That's what we're doing. So you're not just looking for a course. And back in the old days,
2
courses
years ago.
they might have included, one live session or something, but now people are really looking for that interaction, that live aspect every single day. And in our Mastermind City hub, We have all of our courses. It's like Netflix. You can watch anything anytime you want, which is great because if you need to learn how to do a podcast, it's there. If you need to learn how to speak because you're doing a presentation, it's there. It's on your own time. However, what we've added to it is you do live coaching with us every Wednesday. And that's huge because if you have a question, you can come and ask. So, live is a key component to, I believe, what we're going for. And with live, I mean ease of use. So, another gate, not so sure.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the challenge is that, which is why I think the model, I mean, all the different course software is moving to that, right? They're enabling you to go live in events. They're enabling you to go live in the course. They're enabling you to, have that interaction and that community, because I think the challenge in the world of today is that there's so much, like it's easy to consume content,
Yep.
whether it's short form content, whether it's long form content, whether you're going to YouTube and you're watching a course for an hour, whatever that case may be. But I think what we've realized is that, well, what if I have a question?
Yeah.
Right? Like, where am I asking those questions? Where am I getting that interaction with the course, the person who's delivering that course? Because I
Right.
can learn it anywhere, but I need that. I want their expertise on my stuff. I want to, be part of those calls. I want to have that interaction. I want to, which is why webinars are still very popular, because live ones,
Live.
so that you can ask those questions, you can interact, you can, have your questions answered instead of just sending a chat and having a response. You get it live. What about this? Like, I remember, I think there was a software and I had a question and there was just one piece that I just couldn't figure out. So I jumped on their live chat, not their live chat, their live coaching, and they brought up my site. They showed me what I had done wrong or what I needed to change in order to make it look the way I wanted to. And that was a huge help to me, which is why our clients are so grateful when they come into the coaching. We bring up their site, we bring up their information, we have those conversations,
Right.
as opposed to just, hey, go watch this and good luck.
I mean, we know we own a lot of software and a lot of programs and everything, obviously. And it's really frustrating when, you own something, it might be a program, and you have to go to YouTube and try to Google, like, or search what you can, the answer that maybe somebody else figured out when the actual company is not there for you to give that information to you. So it is key. So, I mean, if you're not including that in some of your pieces that you're doing right now, you really should think about how can I interact with the end user of my product on a live basis so that they can actually move forward. Because sometimes you're stuck, right? You're
Yeah.
stuck and you can't go forward until the question is answered. I hate that. That's the worst thing because then you're like, well, I hope they answer me, by the end of the day, and then at least I can do it tomorrow. But
Yeah.
I think in today's world, we really want instant answers. So, at Mastermind City, we go live, we answer your questions. We're live here, right? We're live on Hot Topics. We are live in our coaching. And here's the thing: we go live in coaching on Wednesday. If you need a question answered Thursday, you can pop it into the community, ask the question, and then we'll see it and answer you. So there's lots of different opportunities to interact, but you have to take that step. The days of just putting up a course are no longer available.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because I think way back, again, I don't know, maybe 4 years ago, back in the beginning of time, um, people used to drip courses,
Yeah.
and we've talked we've talked about that before as well, where it's like, I'll drip module one, and then a week later, and then a week later, and then a week later. So it ends up being sort of an 8 week or a 10 week
Right.
or whatever the course duration is. And I think that became a big problem because, again, I'm ready. I'm in the mode. I'm ready to go. I'm taking action because, again, if you're just putting out a course or you're consuming a course, right? If you're learning and you're not going to put that learning into action, then you've wasted a lot of time and a lot of information that you could be valuable to grow your business, right? Which is why all our courses are very action focused. But now just imagine that person who's consuming that content and they're ready to go. Number one, if it's dripped, you're frustrated because I want to go to the next step and I can't. Or I can't go to the next step because I need this question answered. And now I can't get that response because they don't have a place. They're either not live, they don't have a community, and they don't have the ability to answer those questions.
Well, I think it's really important because, we teach digital product creation. And I think it's really important for everyone to understand. We do teach a drip method in one of the pieces. And the reason we teach a drip method, it's completely different than what we're talking about. But the reason we're saying it is if you're building an 8-week course and you just are still building it and you're not there and you're not sure and you want some feedback, we always suggest that you sell the course. So you sell the course in advance, and then every week you deliver it live. So every single week for the next 8 weeks, it's a live module one where everyone can interact with you. You can record it. You can get feedback as to if there's anything you can change. But then by the end of those 8 live sessions, you have a full course. So if you recorded your live, you actually have that to use, and then your course is valid. So we call it a beta, right? It's a beta because you're still building the course, and that's the exception. People are fine with doing that if you're delivering live, and that's the key, right?
Yeah.
You deliver live, then no problem. But once you have it, it's on demand because you have it ready, recorded, and everything's ready to go. But it's kind of like what we're doing today. We're delivering live, and then we can use that recording to put onto YouTube, to take clips and put onto social media. But the live component always has to be there.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right. That's a completely different world. That's when you're creating it. It's the same thing we know from our recordings and our lives and stuff like that. We don't live in a world where people are going to stop what they're doing and watch us live. We do have a lot of people who do watch live, and we have a lot of people who watch it recorded. Right?
Yeah.
So if somebody's delivering a course and I'm not available at the time they're delivering it, then I know I can watch the replays and I don't get that live interaction. So there's definitely pros and cons to both, but you're right. It is in development stage for
But
sure, rather
you
than.
see the subtle changes in the marketplace, right? So, and if you are, if you've taken a course, for example, that's teaching you how to build a course and drip it and all that stuff, you have to understand when that course was written, right? And how things are evolving because they're literally evolving by the day. They're still good and still valid information, right? Because it's the truth. That's how you put a course together. That's how you would build your business. But you need to watch the subtle changes in the marketplace, which is, people want interaction, they want community, they want involvement. And when I say community, I don't mean kumbaya. You know what I mean? I mean, they
And we
just
don't mean
want,
Facebook groups.
no, we just mean there has to be somewhere where someone can interact with the person who's either running the community or people who are like-minded and understand how to be able to give you the information or help you along the way. So that is right now, if you're not in it, do it. Like you need to, if you don't understand it, join one, right? You can join ours for free. So, and just look around and see how we lay things out and how things are achievable for someone, right? Like, so if you're thinking about putting your courses online, you want to do some lives, take a look, run, we don't mind. Go into our community and look around, steal our ideas. We're good. So it's fine because that's how you learn. But I think you have to watch the marketplace, just like Stacy said when we first started with that reveal piece. It's just something new that's added in. So what's going to happen is you're going to now see a bunch of those because what happens when something new comes out? Everybody does it.
Yeah.
So we're going to see a bunch of them, and you're going to see them, some done very well and some done very poorly. And if you have to go through that gate, that reveal gate, and then you end up getting another gate, then get off of their platform or whatever their handle because they are taking advantage of something that's supposed to, build intrigue, have uniqueness, So be careful. Don't just jump on something because it's new. Like, just ask yourself, does somebody really benefit from this, or is it just kind of cute? Because there's a lot of things that are just kind of cute.
Yeah, and
Right?
just because it's available does not mean you need to use it. I'll emphasize that one, because they come out, and Instagram and TikTok and all the other social media platforms have all kinds of different features. It doesn't
Yeah.
mean you have to use it. It's kind of like the trends, right? Like, you don't have to do a trend to be relevant. But I
Right.
think what's also interesting is how I was watching, um, and the algorithm changes and stuff like that, yesterday as well. Apparently, I just wanted to see what was new in the world yesterday. But which is relevant to this, because basically what they want to do is stop duplicate accounts. They want to stop people from duplicating. And, if we put out content and somebody puts out the same video, they download our video and they put it up as
Yeah.
there's a lot of accounts like that on Instagram and
A lot
TikTok
on YouTube. There's a
and
lot.
YouTube. Like, they actually just take other people's content and they put it out so they can get views and stuff like that. Well, the biggest difference in that, so number one, the algorithm is bringing those accounts down, and the original content they're going to boost even more, which is fantastic. But
Yeah.
number two, the person who originally puts that out, like us, if somebody were to take our video, they wouldn't have the ability. So if somebody's learning from their channel and they're using
Yeah.
our video, well, we're like, they can't get those questions answered. So make
Yeah.
sure you find the original source of that training, because that's
Yes.
the other piece, again, talking about gateways. And we were having this conversation yesterday about YouTube videos and learning and stuff like that. And then you see a link in the description of that YouTube video, and it takes you to a place where you have to opt in.
Right.
So where are the pros and cons of that? So there just seems to be a lot of gateways these days, and I think they're
Mhm.
coming down, which is good.
Well, I think part of it is because if you're okay in the back end, then you can retarget the people that visit the page. So you don't necessarily, let's get clear, an email list is still the most important thing you can get. All right. But it's if there are people that will just leave this page if you're asking for their email, so you have to give them an alternative. So we are discussing yesterday, in full transparency because you guys will see it, we have one way to get into you go to a landing page, you do your email, you get to watch our training. But we were talking about it, and like, why not put that video training on our YouTube channel?
Right.
And then if you go to our YouTube, you'll be able to see it. Both are free. It's just the way to get it. So
Yeah.
here's the difference. You go to our YouTube channel, we hope that you're subscribing to our YouTube channel, and that's how we can ensure that you get all our content.
Right.
Or you can subscribe if you're more interested in getting an email from us that says, hey, here's a new content. So we're trying very hard to make sure that we get to everyone how they want content delivered, not how we want it. It's all about our audience, right? How do you want content from us? And so that's what we're trying to follow. We're trying to be available. We're available on podcasts. We're available on YouTube. We're available in our community. We're available on Hot Topics. We're available in all different formats. Whatever you prefer is what we want to make sure that we have given.
Exactly. Exactly. And I think that's just respecting the fact that different people consume things differently. Like, whenever, we have conversations with new clients, it's like, oh, I'm a podcast listener. I like to learn. I like to find them through podcasts. And the next person will be like, I'm a YouTube person. Whenever I think of anything or an idea, I immediately go to YouTube to see what's out there. I'm a Google person, I'm Googling this to see what's out there in regards to websites. I'm an email person if I don't get an email reminder. So it's very fascinating in today's world about all the different ways that people consume content. And that's where it really comes down to understanding who your target audience is, understanding your people, understanding your customers, but also understanding that, even if maybe the people who are in our community, they consume the content in the community, but that doesn't mean that there's not a lot of other people out there that consume on YouTube that we haven't attracted yet.
Right.
So that we want to, because we're YouTube people, we love YouTube and they love YouTube. So why is our stuff not there? It is obviously we have a lot of stuff on YouTube, but we're
Well,
constantly want to be adding more.
we haven't done a big push on YouTube, and what we are now, we're putting all our content on, as I said. But like the truth is, for many of you who are listening or watching to us right now, you're leaning towards one platform because that's your platform, and that's we agree you should try to stick to the one
Yep.
you enjoy the most, but you are leaving a lot of people out there that don't know about you because you haven't given them the information the way they want to obtain it. So you really need to sit back and go, okay, how can I do this in the easiest way to make sure that I gain all these platforms? And we've talked a lot in Tech City for the last couple of weeks about all these tools that we've used, and at the key to every single tool we use, the easiest way to get to every single platform is to record something live.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's the
And
way
that
you have to.
means, yeah. And whether that's in your course, whether that's as part of the event, whether that's as part of your content. But if you think about, and we'll talk about this, good way to step into Tech City.
Yeah, I try.
Good segue, I should say. Um, yeah, and it's just we talked last week, or we talked one of the weeks in Tech City, I don't remember which one it was now, about posting on different platforms to get that frequency effect, right? Well, going live on the multiple platforms is also a way to reach more people and increase that frequency effect as well, because they're seeing you in different platforms.
And it's
Now,
easy because you're looking at that, you're doing this like we are right now. We are live and it's streaming to how many, Stacy?
6, I
Six
think.
different platforms. So one shot. So whenever anyone thinks it's overwhelming to think about all these different platforms, as long as you have an easy tool, you can do a live and then you can go out everywhere. And that's again the beauty of being live. So for those of you who are a little still afraid and timid, as long as you find an easy software and you know what you're talking about, right? We talk about it all the time. Like how many times in the last couple of weeks have we talked about what's on your shingle? What do you do? Do you understand what you talk about? If you don't, we do have a live training for you free. It's I don't know where it is. It's go to
Go to the
Mastermind.
hub, go to hub.mastermind.city, and you'll see it in the free training
Yeah.
courses.
So, but that's all part of it. So if you know what you're talking about, right? You know what you do, then going live is not a problem. So for those of people who are always nervous, like, what am I going to say? You're going to say the same thing you talk about every single day. And this is what we're doing. We don't have a script here. As Stacy said, oh, that's a good segue. Nothing's planned. It really isn't. I know what we're doing in Tech City, but that doesn't mean that it can easily, we just are talking and now it's flowing into that realm. So there is no worry about going live, guys. You just have to understand how easy it is to be able to do it.